desiring only to escape the misery of the parents' home, to grasp for pleasure, to feel important. Such a marriage, born out of desperation, made without thought, can doom the young man and woman to a life of unhappiness. A tree cannot have deep roots in a hard, unfriendly soil. A child cannot have healthy roots in a house full of anger. Sometimes children retreat from anger into themselves, into a blind, hopeless apathy. Such a child cannot flourish. Sometimes children can build a refuge of warmth and love for themselves that will protect them from the anger in such a house. But a child must do something to escape anger. He cannot live with it. It hurts too much. And sometimes he will defend himself from anger with more anger, with defiance. For some men, turning an angry face to the world is a way of feeling important, neither for his son nor for himself. Can such a one be a true man? There has not always been anger and hatred in this house. The constant disappointments come because each expects from the other more than he or she can give. Too many children, too much fighting, too much anger have made of this woman a nagging, bitter wife, and of the husband a selfish bully. This is not just one of the little squabbles of everyday married life. This twisted, crooked kind of anger is bad for a man, bad for a woman, bad for children. And the children in such a home may try to escape the anger, perhaps before they are old enough, by doing just what their parents did, marrying in haste, without thought, without understanding, without love. But even in a home in which there are love and understanding, there can be serious troubles. A man who desires his child to grow straight must understand that each new step toward manhood must be encouraged. But this is sometimes difficult, especially when the new things the child has learned outside the home are unfamiliar to the parents. It was just such a new step when Juanito brought home 2 rabbits one day. His father was full of doubts. Who will eat rabbits? Why raise animals that are good for nothing? It is hard for a man who has never eaten rabbit to have his son tell him that they are good to eat. It is hard for a man to accept learning new things from his son. The boy is very stubborn. He acts as if he were the man of the house. The boy says he learned about rabbits in school, that they are good to eat and cheap and easy to raise. And besides, he will take care of them all by himself. It is hard for a man to let his son win an argument. It is hard, but a man must do it sometimes. He must let the child take new steps when he is ready. That makes him even more of a man. No one would think of preventing a tree from growing. Neither should one prevent a child from growing. The physical growth of people and of trees is reached one day. But there is another kind of growth with people that need not stop. For there is possible in the hearts and minds of men and women a growth in experience, in understanding, in maturity. To raise a real man, one should be a real man. So strong in the feeling of his own worth that he does not pretend to be something he is not. He can be a good...
Hello. Finally got this to work. I don't know why it didn't. I don't know why this took longer than I thought it would. Higurashi, When They Cry. 7th expansion presents. Welcome to Higurashi When They Cry. This is a long ass game. This is 10 hours and I'm committed to doing all 10 hours, but
man, the sound of the Higurashi when they cry is really nice. Anyway, hi hey hola.
hello. This payoff better be really good because first off, I spent 6 hours on the setup. And secondly, this wasn't just setup. This was like really early 2000s anime weeb culture setup that frankly, so I have expressed my distaste for it, I think, throughout the first 2 sessions. And I imagine that turns people off because when you here's what I understand. Here's how I understand this. People who want to watch me play Higurashi When They Cry, barring you lot who just kind of watch things in general, people who would click into Higurashi When They Cry gameplay are probably people who like the game. And me going for the first 6 hours, I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable. Like, not in the way that is like the game, not in the creepy bits, but in the bits that are supposed to be fun and like relatable and relaxing. When I criticize those bits, I understand that this turns people off who actually like the game, and I'm not doing a service for anyone who doesn't like the game by going like, this is
Hi
really
everyone
6
and
hours are really
I have faith
bad.
in Zero's taste, so if she says the game is good I'm gonna believe her.
Now, I don't know, because I don't have any faith in Zero's taste. You do. That's unfortunate for you. But like, I'm going into this understanding, and I'm continuing this knowing and understanding that I have fucked up all of, like, if I wanted people who liked Higurashi to watch me, I have failed spectacularly because I've pissed off every front. I pissed off the people who don't like the game because, you know, I'm playing it and I'm trying to be nice and charitable to the game, and I'm pissing off the people who do like the game because I'm like, the bits where they do the social club are cringe to me and I can't stand this. I'm a grown ass man, and that probably does irritate a lot of people. Nobody wins. Everybody hates me. Nobody wants to watch this anymore, I would presume. And once again, like many things in life, being honest doesn't pay off at all. Being authentic and genuine doesn't matter, and no one cares if you speak your mind. They only care if you speak your mind and it happens to be exactly the opinion they have and they can agree with it. Is my cynical take on this. And this isn't triggered by anything in particular. The Higurashi streams have actually been doing better than the usual streams. So that's not why I'm saying all this. I'm saying all this because, in light of the first 6 hours I've had to deal with in this game, this setup better be worth the payoff. Not just in how freaky or, like, you know, how terrifying it is, but in how cathartic and how much catharsis I feel. Okay. You have 4 people.
I'm just
right now.
enjoy the
Not
streams
for you?
because when a philosophy major reads a VN from the early 2000s it kind of sounds like a 4Kids dub of One Piece.
Excuse me. Oh my god. Oh. 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 Thank you, Let Me Die. Thank you for using their first comment well. Oh. It's not, that's not what this is. This isn't a 4Kids dub of One Piece. This is not, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. Also, 4 people are more than
Wait,
enough.
not
That's
Let
not what
Me
I'm
Die
saying.
LOL.
Yeah, Let Me Die. Thank you for the comment. Um, 4 people is enough. That's not what I'm saying. Like, so this isn't a numbers thing. Like, I'm not saying this better be worth it because I'm getting lower viewerships. I get lower viewerships in general. This doesn't concern me. This is not why I do things. But like, this is 6 hours of my time, and that's what I'm more concerned with. That I could have spent reading like other things. Like, you please understand that I have a big reading list that involves, what does it involve? It involves actually reading like Either or by Soren Kierkegaard, alongside um, a reread of Sickness Unto Death, and also
Hey, at least it is not the Ghost Stories voice acting. Also hello all.
I wish I could do Ghost Stories voice acting. The Ghost Stories dub is incredible. I wish I lived up to that. I could never. I could only imagine. But also in the big 2025, maybe I shouldn't be saying the things they were saying in the Ghost Stories dub. Even if they were really funny, I don't think I should be saying it. Because it's, humor and comedy in different mediums. I'm not saying it's like they're gonna cancel me. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is like it doesn't translate well to the type of humor that exists now. I think it was funny back then, and I think it's still funny now, but only because it was funny back then. If someone made the Ghost Stories dub today in 2025, I would not. I would be a bit more eye rolling, and I'd be a bit more like, I don't know if this lands. But because it was made when it was made, I can still laugh at it now. Anyways, that's the Ghost Stories opinion out of the way. Speaking of ghosts, I don't really have any expectations or like theories for what happens next. All I think I know is that after 6 chapters, I think we're done with the high school playing cards, having a cheery fun time with the harem of girls, high school girls, because I am also a high schooler in this game, right? But um it's just, nothing jives well. Nothing from the beginning but jives well, but I think it makes sense. Okay, yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to say before we continue. I need to explain why, even though I'm saying I don't like it, I'm not saying it's bad, because there's 2 things going on here, right? Something can be bad, and something can be good or bad in its quality and how you recognize it and judge it as a medium or as a whatever it is, yeah, visual novel or whatever. Um, and something could be to your tastes or against your tastes, or something that you generally wouldn't prefer. This is not to my taste. It is not something I prefer. Um, I wish there were. I just, it's set in high school, and that's really all it takes to to piss me off. Is the last thing I want to do is go back to high school. Fuck that. I don't want that anymore in my life. I'm a grown ass man. Okay, but the the idea is like it makes sense. I'm hesitant to say it's good yet because we'll have to see. We'll have to see how they pay it off. But the setup makes sense. The setup is not bad. The setup is like you're supposed to like the girls. Like there's 5 girls and you're supposed to like all of them and you're supposed to feel like things are going good and you're supposed to feel in a state of bliss and peace and like tranquility and just general good vibes before they plunge you into the darkness, before
Did
they
any
plunge you
horror
into
happen yet?
the horror, before they plunge you into the murdering each other and all that, which is probably what's going to happen, but I don't know exactly. And that's how they set this up for a 2010s like weeb. This makes perfect sense. This makes perfect sense, and I can see why people like it. And I'm not saying people who like it are wrong. I'm just saying people who like it may perhaps partially like it a lot because we have very different preferences in media. Is merely all I'm saying. Unless today's stream is bad. If the next 3 chapters are mid, then I take back all the. Well, I won't take it all back, but I'll take back some of the charitable takes I've been giving. Okay, I've been giving this game. VNs from the 2000s drag on. I read the Fate Eroge, the UFO table anime messed up with my expectations of how I consume Fate. Yeah, UFO table tend to do that. You gonna reminisce of your own high school card playing? No. Maybe. I certainly preferred my high school card playing to theirs. It was less, oh my god, I'm gonna get punished by the principal. I'm gonna get the 4 other players with me who are all women my age to do lewd and unspeakable acts. Oh my god. That wasn't what happened to me, okay? That wasn't what we did. And I'm all the more better for it. Did any horror happen yet? I haven't clicked continue. It's been like 17 minutes since I clicked go live and 12 minutes since I transitioned from go live to the game screen. Did you see the tweet about activate Windows notifications and white people? No, what are you talking about? I do not know what you're referring to. You prefers the FNAF type of horror? No. No, I don't. I would still rather this than Five Nights at Freddy's. Everyone's opinions and preferences are valid until they aren't. Okay, here's my thing.
Idiot, I'm talking about the VODs too.
What so here's the thing. No, in the VODs, it hasn't happened either. Evidently you weren't paying attention. That's why you had to ask, and that's why I had to answer you. Sorry, I had to fire back somewhere. Everyone's opinions and preferences are valid until they aren't. That is the case. Not in the sense. Okay, here's the way I see it. There is no right answer, but there are wrong answers. Okay? There isn't a right answer. There isn't a one single correct answer for what the best thing is or how we should consume art or media and light visual novels and all that. But there are certainly wrong ways to go about it. Okay, and one of the wrong ways you can go about it is by playing Higurashi for the first 6 hours and then turning the game off, and then that's it, and then not doing any more. Not doing any more visual novel reading. Like, that's like an objectively wrong way to play the game. If you played this for the first bit of high school social life, then like, no, man, that's the wrong way to play this game. There's no right answer other than telling other people that they're undoubtedly wrong and that their taste is shit. No, your taste isn't shit because, like, of you as a person. It's not because of things you can't change. It's because of things that you can change. Because my belief is anyone who has mid or poor taste can always learn from that and develop their taste to be more sophisticated and refined and, you know, evolve their sense of appreciation for art and medium. Like, this is something that can happen to anyone. It's never too late. And we shouldn't gatekeep and stop people from acquiring their taste, right? But nonetheless, we shouldn't be like, everyone's opinion's valid. No, some people's opinions are awful. And we should tell them that their opinions are awful. Not them, but their opinions are awful. And we need to, more importantly than that, explain very clearly why that's the case. Okay? It's very important to explain why it's bad. So, if this turns out to be bad, Higurashi, I'm not going to be like, this is bad, and then turn it off. I'm going to be very lengthy in my explanation for why I think it's bad. I don't know. It's still kind of a coin flip for me right now. I don't know what to expect, but I hope it's good. There was a tweet about how the activate Windows is white person equivalent of the smoke alarm that chirps in the background. That gets a that gets a that gets a chuckle. That gets like a small like smirk out of me. Chairman, what's the most refined and cult thing and like okay, what refined and cult thing I like? Not a lot. Most of my favorite things are very popular and safe. That's why I'm not there yet. And that's why I'm positive in asserting this. Is because I don't think I'm at the finish line. I'm just saying there is a direction to run towards. I'm not even saying there is a finish line. If there is such a thing. Because if there is such a thing, I don't think anyone would ever achieves it. But I think there is a direction to run towards, and there is such a thing as going the right way or going a right way or the wrong way for sure. What's the most underrated thing I like? The thing is, like, the most underrated thing I really, really like, or the thing I think is the most underrated, is Mob Psycho 100, but it's universally praised by anyone who's actually watched it. It just isn't watched by a lot of people. But anyone who has seen it is like, yeah, this is like an all-timer for sure. Right? Maybe the Stanley Parable, because some people don't get it, but that's not even fair, because it's also a very fairly popular thing. Nothing I like is like controversial. So it's hard for me to say like, oh, this is a refined taste. People need to just like learn how to appreciate this. When usually the things I enjoy are fairly easy to appreciate the first time around. No, none that I feel strongly about. I will say Katawa Shoujo might be it, but like that's another visual novel, is the thing. Like, I actually think Katawa Shoujo is really good. I thought it'd be really bad, and then it exceeded beyond my it went well beyond my expectations, and became one of my favorite things that I played in February. By far, one of my favorite things. Your taste might be bad because Ryukishi 07 wrote the plot to third highest rated Silent Hill game. Third highest rated game of a specific genre is not the highest bar one can achieve. Who is the Ryukishi 07? Who is that? Who is this? You keep bringing this. Is this the person who wrote Higurashi? Yeah, it is. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they could have fucked up this a bit. Maybe he could have fucked. I'm like on his Wikipedia page now. Maybe he could have fucked his thing up. He could have fucked up Higurashi and then learned from that mistake, right? Maybe that could have happened. I mean, like I don't think it did, but you know. Okay, we're gonna start the game now and stop talking. We're gonna play the video game. We're gonna cry when they Higurashi. Where are we? Here we are. Higurashi.
Wait, I thought stream wasn't until Friday.
Ohayo. What? No, stream is like today. And then we're streaming Little Nightmares 3 on Friday. Am I stupid? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay. Nice job yesterday, Kei-chan. You didn't do so badly yourself, Mion. Yesterday was fun. Oh, that's right, Kei-chan. Thank you very much for Mr. Bear. I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though. I wouldn't. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom, but the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water, and unfortunately my foot stepped right into it. I can't deal with this music anymore, man. This is gonna kill me. Maybe we should just skip to the horror, actually.
Hi, Evranyan.
Evranyan. Hello. Hello there. Hello. Third highest for a Silent Hill game is still pretty good when you're competing against Silent Hill 2, the game that started Games Art Discourse. Look, I know, I'm just trying to be a contrarian. I think you're correct. I'm just trying to be a contrarian. I actually agree with you. Like, I do have... The only reason I've sat through 6 hours of this BGM, coupled with, oh my god, you can see through my, like, shirt. Like, the only reason I've done that is because, like, I've heard really good things about this author, okay? That's the only reason. I wouldn't, and because Zero said it was good. So if this is bad, I'm never taking another game suggestion from Zero again. Blaming it, why did I think today was 13th? I'm blaming it on migraine and the fact that I have pins and needles in my face and arms. My condolences. Are you gonna play Silent Hill? No. At least not this year. My now. How diligent of you to mop the floor this morning. Clomp, 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 whip, whiff. What the hell are those sounds? Gage sound flicked my forehead. Card games indeed. Vi, you should come back in like 2 hours when the game finally stops being about playing card games in high school and actually gets to something maybe a bit more interesting, hopefully. You should set a more brutal trap next time. Seeing that, Reina began to swoon as Mion looked on dejectedly. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there. Nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I'd had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished. What is it, Kage-kun? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe? I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class. You shouldn't do that. Sorry, I have to like mute myself and cough off camera because I'm, I've been saying I'm muting to cough because I'm sick for like 4 weeks now. I'm starting to think that's not like a temporary thing. I'm starting to think this is never going away. Like this is just how the rest of Charis Euphranor is going to be. Like I'm just going to be coughing every 20 seconds. What are you talking about? Card games are interesting? They are, but like I'm playing with a bunch of uninteresting players. Were you not a Yu-Gi-Oh guy? I wasn't, but like I wasn't part of a gambling den because we didn't gamble with money, but I was definitely part of a group of people, which included my friend group, but also like people further away from my friend group as well, who would gather to play cards during like school break times. And we just did that every day. And we played the same few games. I think President was the game we played the most. I'm not gonna say that I'm the best President player, because like most card games, there's an element of luck. But what I will say is, if there were a bot to track, like, if they made a bot for President, like a chess bot, right? My moves wouldn't deviate from a bot's at all. So I wouldn't be winning a lot, but every play I make would probably be objectively correct. Yu-Gi-Oh was peak. I didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh. I wasn't in that crowd, but I was around that. Crowd. Do you have COVID? I hope not. I hope not. Silly Charis, you're so dedicated to being a philosopher, you can't realize when you have mold in your home. I don't have mold. There's no mold. There's no mold in my it's not whatever. I'm going back to the visual novel. Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all the people who stayed up until the very end to help clean up. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus. Okay, then this time of year you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed the different tone in her voice and started paying attention. You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Uh-oh, so something bad did happen. Not to our friends, though. Our friends are alive, right? Have we met all of our friends now? So, okay, just to catch everyone up, this is a story about... What is this a story about? This is a story about a small rural Japanese village town where there's a folklore myth curse thing that has no. What happened first? No. Did the folklore happen first? So there's a myth that there's like some sort of river god, and years ago, years prior to current time in this video game, the government wanted to build a dam there, and that upset the god or something, and then someone died, and that was a few years ago. And since then, every year there have been mysterious accidents that happened, and they could kind of be traced to the dam construction project. So people are saying it's cursed. The key kind of like motif that the game keeps coming back to is the fact that the first incident was like a riot, and ended in the cruel, violent murder of one of the engineers in the dam construction project, who had his limbs and his body disfigured and severed by the other workers using pickaxes and axes. Did you forget the plot? Yes, because it wasn't very... Because most of it has just been like, oh my god, I'm gonna pick number 2 in this card, and then in this card game, and then the character goes, oh no, he's gonna pick number 2, and then he picks number 3 instead, and it's just... And then running around in high school spreading rumors to lower school students. I don't know what the hell is going on here, honestly. It's just, I've lost the plot. Yes, and then the Higurashi cried. Anyways, so, okay, to catch everyone up to the current moment, we had just gotten past the festival yesterday. Yesterday in game time was the festival, where supposedly something cursed would have happened and someone died if the curse were true. But we're hoping that it's just a coincidental string of events, and yesterday would have proven it. Now, we went to sleep, woke up, went to school, all our classmates and our friends are there. So our friend group is fine, I think. But we're alive too. But now we're skeptical. Now we're like, something might have gone wrong. Someone might have died and the authorities might be trying to cover it up. We'll see. In unison, everyone replied, yes, ma'am. What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, don't spout stupid shit you think is funny. And now, I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the days relaxing Yeah, that wasn't happening. Scratch the title, I don't want the social club anymore. Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one? Ooh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting. The instructions are in English. but the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose you here. I'm not too bad at this game. It seemed that Reina didn't handle this kind of game very well. The rules are, the person who can match the murderer, weapon, and the scene of the crime wins. There were 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. What is this game? This feels familiar. Do I know this game? I don't know this game. Never mind, I don't think I do. I could see the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons too. Like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice too, like the living room, the study, and the courtyard. So basically, you take out one of each card, one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators. Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends and we check if the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. Are they playing Among Us? No, I don't think they are. You'll learn as you go. You really have to use your brain. You'll get confused if you don't take notes. The rest you can figure out by playing, so Mion, what's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion. Let's see, we're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with a gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. So just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess. I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. I wonder, is it really? Is Keiichi-san thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, you don't know what you'll have to go buy. I mean, what the hell would you buy? Hemorrhoid cream, happy family planning manual. It's not that crazy. You could be buying for somebody else. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out. So that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards. Then I'll go first since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Mion, knife, study. You pick one suspect weapon and murder scene and ask each person. If you have any of those cards, then you must say I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it. Me too. I have one. Oh my, all of them are here. 3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion, knife, and study. So that means that Mion and knife and study are all in the clear. Got to jot that down. Are you allowed to jot them down? Isn't part of the game like having to remember it in your head? Then I'll go. Reina, Axe, Lounge. Only 2 people said they had one. So it means out of Reina, Axe, and Lounge, one of them is correct and is part of the crime. No, wait, even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards. Well, Kei-chan is next, go ahead. Wait, just a little. I'm still sorting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough. It is. Alright, now I have the criminal. What? Already? Here I am spinning around in circles and Mion just now raises her hand. The murderer is Rika-chan, in the infirmary with the poison. Well? Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if her deduction was right. You were right! Here, all I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or pistol. I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison. Rika-chan said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Reina and I were left out in the cold though. How did you do, Keiichi-kun? I couldn't get it at all. Don't worry, I had no idea either. How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this race. That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple. What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Guide? I can tell from Keiichi's expression that he's not very good at this game. Whoa, that's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Maibara during the next round. Maybe it's a stretch, but ever thought of having a board game night collab with several other VTubers? I have. And that is the extent to which I will answer that question. I shall give you quite the thrashing. After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. Eureka! Ah, sorry, you need to go to the bathroom. Take your time and squeeze out a nice one. Mi-chan, that's gross. I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Reina had made her way over towards me. Keiichi-kun, did you call for me? Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Reina. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Reina, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth. Well, all losses. Why do you ask, I wonder? I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one. So I guess both of us will be taking that penalty? Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us. This is cheating. This is straight up cheating. You are not allowed to do that. But how can we? I brought my lips up to Reina's ear. Whisper, 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 whisper. Dude, we're not in, like... We're not in earshot, are we? If we're having... Why would you whisper this bit and not everything up until this point? How do you whisper? How do you whisper next to someone's ear? Like, what do you actually whisper when you're like do a whisper sound effect? I don't know what that would be. I tried. That was the closest I could. You sound like a cicada when they cry. Huh? Is that allowed? Did you forget, Reina? The second rule of our society. Do everything in your power to obtain victory. Yeah, I'll try my best. Our plan of attack was quite a rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. Could still lose, but sure. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys. Yeah, with this we can probably win. We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Reina was the corrupt senator. Heh, pleasure doing business with you. Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone. Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It'd be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement. Oh, sorry, then what should we do? Go back ahead of me, Reina. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something. Okay, got it. Reina turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later, because both Reina and I would start winning over and over again. Both Reina and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. Maibara-kun, may I have a moment? Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things are just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit... You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance. A guest? It's not like I own a hotel. They have been waiting. Please hurry. It was rather unfortunate that I'd have someone waiting on me right before my big match, but I was more interested in the unexpected guest. Didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. Uh-oh. The entry was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. What the hell? Who is this? This is the guy. This is like... This is the guy from Ace Attorney. This is the guy from the first Ace Attorney, isn't it? Isn't he like the investigator from Ace Attorney? That's a visual novel I actually do enjoy, so I'm not... The genre itself isn't doomed. In fact, I have a rather positive impression, so this better be good. Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened, and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. Colonel Sanders. Are you Maibara-san? Keiichi Maibara-san. There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamizawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitake-san, I've been running into so many middle-aged men. That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? You should not be going into a car with a stranger. That is not Edgeworth. Hold on. We should not be walking... So we're at school. This is a kid. This is a policy violation, okay? I'm at school. I'm a kid. I'm underage. Yeah, exactly. I'm underage. I'm minding my own business. I'm playing card games with my other high school friends. I get summoned to talk to a middle-aged man I've never met before in front of the school gates. The teacher just let me do that. And then that dude goes, you know what? We could talk here, but you know what? We should talk in my car. There's AC in there. You want to hop into my car real quick? And then the teacher's just letting this happen? What? What if, what if he was like, what if he was on the island? What if he was an island guest? Like what if, what if he was, no, they didn't think this? Whatever. That's the real horror. Oh, terrible school safety. But he has a snazzy suit. The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gate and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he was asking me to get in his car with him? Look, I'm just saying, I better see some ID real fucking fast. I'm not gonna bite. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. What? Even well knowing that conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good. Why are we in the back of his car? Why are we in his car? The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners was supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least. Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. So what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy. If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. There were scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker. Bruh. Uh-oh. No. Starting with yours, Maibara-san, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Uh-oh. The music's ominous now. I'm gonna turn it down for me because I'm...
Ayo.
Okay. Tomitake-san. There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Then, do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tomitake-san that night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. When was the last time you saw these two? Yesterday night. You're scared already? I know the signs of horror. Because I've consumed horror things before. I'm not like a stranger in the sense that I've not played a lot of horror games, but I've like watched some horror films and like I'm familiar with the tropes and stuff. So I know this is tropey and campy. This is campy. This is objectively speaking campy because like, well, this shit was written like really long ago. But nonetheless, it still gets me. Oh, the night of the Watanagashi. We spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Okay, well, yeah, but... Look, I thought the dude was a ghost. And I thought, initially. And then the woman showed up and did not at all give me her name, which is weird. And started just telling me shit. No one else interacted with the woman. But my friends and I, had interacted with Tomitake-san. Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus I replied to the silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking me about Tomitake-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently. Isn't that right, Maibara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oyashiro-sama? Fuck, he got me. He got me. He knows. Oh, I know. He knows that I know. I know that he knows that I know, but now I know that he knows that I know. Fuck. Oh.
Hello, how's it going?
Hi, Mari. It's going. It went from like, I hate the social club activities. Please let me go. Please let me go do the horror stuff now. So now I'm in the horror bits and I don't like it anymore. My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Not at all. If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tomitake-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death. The incidents that always happened the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather, I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Do you know of that, well, curse, Maibara-san? Feel free to speak openly about this.
Hello, Amari.
Hello. I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys. So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point? The man in this picture is dead. No. Bruh. I'm next. I'm next. You're gonna kill me. Or I'm gonna have to kill someone. Otherwise, how will the game story progress if I die? So it probably means that I'm not the one dying, but someone else is. Okay. My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomitake-san? It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagasi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Maibara-san? Implications? Not any yet. Not any for the cause of his death or for the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi, meaning this year the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again. The death of Jiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? I didn't want to understand why. Please tell me. Tell me what happened. It was rather peculiar. Dude, what the fuck? Don't play this. Can we go back to the happy music? Can we go back to like the happy-go-lucky, like the trotting around, the oh my god, we're playing card games. Do 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 do. Can we like go back to that, please? Can we go back to that? Can we go back to that? Can we go back to the social club? Oh, okay, all right. It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I want to hear the rest. Okay, I'm going to say it first so that it's not as scary when he says it. It's dismemberment. He got chopped up. And then his, face got horribly brutalized, and then his, like, arms and his legs, like, got cut off as well or whatever, right? It was by axe too. That's probably what it was. That would be the motif, the running motif here. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on the shoulder around there. There were a few street lights on that road. Its pitch-black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first, but when the officers checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. I'm gonna get my coat. I'm cold.
You not good with gore?
I'm not actually. The gore isn't what's scaring me. It's just the fact. It's like the gore itself is not scary, but gore in like a horror setting that's meant to unsettle is scary to me. So like for example, if someone were to be in an accident and like, they get a huge wound on their leg, I don't feel queasy from that. That's just like, oh damn, that's a huge wound. Like, ow, that must hurt. But like gore that's like intentionally horror coded does get to me, but not because it's gore, but because it's horror coded, if that makes sense. Ah, do you need a blankie? No. You're so good at analyzing the situation, yet you're still scared. That's the problem, and that's why I don't like horror, or rather, I'm pretty sure I don't like horror. Is like part of the intrigue for people who like horror is like the subversion of it, or rather, they enjoy the tropiness of it. I know the tropiness of it, which makes it less scary to me. Like it should be less scary if I don't know what's gonna happen, but I usually do, and even then, I'm still scared. So I can only I can only imagine if there were a subversion of the horror genre that is less tropey and campy and more just like innovative, that I would actually shit myself. Horror isn't logical. No, but it is though. There's like a formula to horror. Like you can there's clear ways to do it. It's one of those things where it's like there's no one way to do it, but there is like there's a guideline, there's like a setup, there's these sorts of things that you're supposed to build up into the the subtle bits of foreshadowing, the getting you attached to characters before killing them off, blah blah blah. That's the sort of the uneasy steadiness of the marching of and the doom of something imminent and like ominous. That's all kind of like horror standards, right? From a knife or something? No. Oh, was it like bitten off? Nails. Ah. Nails? As in fingernails? Would those be clawed through? In the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was with his own nails. What is this? What does that mean? Basically, it means it wasn't a murder. It was a suicide. Tomitake-san thought there was a reason to tear open his own throat. As hard as he could with his own nails, tore through the skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomitake-san didn't stop. Continued clawing, with enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails, still clawing, still clawing. Then as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Splurt. Please don't do that. Don't fucking... Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Man, don't do that. Oh. Okay. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed, his body spasmed, and he died in agony. I'm gonna read it like I'm reading like a... like it's funny, okay? I'm gonna read it like it's funny. And he died in agony. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of the nature was detected. But this, it was a suicide? I've never heard of such a thing. This is a natural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died in these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. Alright, we're back in the car, alright. Boo. There were a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their throat. Wounds on his hand matched the discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There are traces of where he struck trees and the guardrails with it. Tomitake-san's blood was found all over the place, meaning that while tearing at his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber. There were external injuries, which were not self-inflicted, discovered on Tomitake-san. There was a high probability Tomitake-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest there may be multiple suspects. To summarize, Tomitake-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then he died. What? Presumed time of death was around 9:23 p.m. That's not that late at all. I thought this was like 5 a.m. or something. Meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitake-san at the festival. What? Five to 12 is what he said. Okay. He died right after talking to me. I don't know. Everyone signed Tomitake-san's shirt and parted ways right after that. Oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her? She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work and hasn't returned home either. There's a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I spent with Tomitake-san was short, but we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us. We have been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitake-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me, because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa. I should have been angry that that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened from me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomitake died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance. The night of the Watanagashi, during that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. There's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomitake-san. Tomitake-san had to have been killed by humans in a cowardly group, no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. And okay, here's what I'm thinking, right? If it is the curse, then like why? What did he do that like if he went and pissed on the shrine or something, then that would, then I'd be like, yeah, well, that makes sense. He had that going for him. If he was a supporter of the dam construction project or whatever, that would have been another, like, yeah, he deserved it. But he didn't even do anything. He didn't even do anything. Ye fickle gods. I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut with a man's hearty laugh. Yeah, that's not really, couldn't possibly be real. That's how this must be, Maebara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand? Maybe the curse hates outsiders. Not everyone who died was an outsider, so I'm not sure. I don't remember. Neither Tomitake-san nor I believed in curses, but with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitake-san's death, marking the 5th year, which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomitake-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomitake-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tomitake-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. But there is nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. No, if you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that is enough. If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense. Things or people or rumors, anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter. Please help me solve these questions surrounding Tomitake-san's unfortunate death. That's right. Why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face. Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential. Understood. From your friends as well. Especially from Sonozaki-san and Furute-san. Please do not inform them. Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me. Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped back at him, but he didn't seem to especially be offended. I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you. Say it. He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. There is a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy. There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. Then how did you come to that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Watanagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa. First it was the dam construction foreman, then it was a villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die one after the other from mysterious causes. I mean, the means are different, but in the end the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of the villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Really? Really? Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomitake-san? He's not affiliated with the damn project at all. Was he killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. What's scary about that? It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider is reason enough. Then next year's victim, they're just going to be picked out of the village outsider pool? Why does there need to be a victim anyways? Why? I don't understand this still. Fence sitter. Fence sitter priest. It might be a person that just moved here. What do you mean? What are you saying, huh? What do you say? You say they'll kill me, the main character of this story? They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. If they did that, then I would die and then the game would end. So it couldn't be me. I know that. I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then the next victim's my family. Was he saying it was going to be me? Okay, but like, if it really is a village conspiracy, then like, all I gotta do is in the next year, just be really nice to everyone and participate in all of the sacred duties or whatever, be like the best version of myself, pull myself up on my bootstraps. It'll be great. It'll be total. They'll like me, right? They'll like me then. They'll like me. They won't think of me as an outsider anymore if I just act the way if I act the way they do. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna drink some water. How much do I have? Okay. Okay. But what does that have to do with Mion? I can't go into details, but the Sonosaki family led the dam protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonosaki herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion knew what it meant to fight. This was the first I'd hear of her family leading the protests, though. More importantly, like, that. But then why would she be like, oh, we gotta kill this guy? Like, no, man. Okay. Maybe she would say that if we stayed out of it. Oh no. Maybe she would say that if we. Maybe she wouldn't care if we stayed out of the conspiracy, but if we started butting our nose into it. Then, well, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved in this string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it. Not a very clear explanation. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. And think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's the curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? I'm just a guy. I'm just a boy. But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with a curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. Or her crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me, so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they don't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand, I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine? Mr. Oishi, from the Okinomiya police station. You can call me Kura-chan if you want. No, Oishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. The door opened with a click and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that's self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, Maibara-san. There is enough proof that the village is not involved. I'll contact you if I hear or see anything, but I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much from me. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, Maibara-kun. I returned to the school building without looking back. I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomitake-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think that there was the possibility of a village conspiracy. Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Reina, Satoko, or Rika-chan. It was a group that attacked Tomitake-san. Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here, somewhere in Hinamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. It's me-chan, the perpetrator. Huh? I was startled to hear Reina's voice. With the rope in the, lounge. I guess it all depends on how subtle Keiichi can be about sticking his nose in business. Yeah, that's really all it can be. It's just like, how can I, the player character, butt in and be nosy without betraying the fact that I'm being nosy? The juxtaposition of this stream and NL streaming Persona 3 Reloaded is fascinating. NL is streaming Persona 3? Hold on, I gotta see this. What? There's no way. There's no way. Hold on, I gotta see this. There's no way he's streaming Persona 3. Oh my god, he was. What? Maybe I should play Persona 3 Reload instead of this. What am I even doing here? I should just play Persona 3. I should just play Persona 3. He's checking another streamer's stream while streaming himself. No, I'm seeing what Mayoshi's up to, okay? I need to know. I need to know what Mayoshi's up to. Detective Delicious, indeed.
5 is overrated.
5 is overrated. That's a bold statement. I don't know if I'm ready to agree with that yet, but I do know the soundtrack to 5 is really good. Both games are about characters thrown into a high school with relationships to develop, clubs to join, and a creepy mystery to solve. Okay, but one involves like a hot teacher. Okay, I'm not even gonna continue. I've been advised not to continue with this with this comparison. God, if I play Persona, it's like I feel like all of my viewership will decline because I'm just gonna be streaming the same story-based game, and that would like people they would lose interest would lose so quickly. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, nope. No. Lena clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here. Wow.
I mean, there's only one way to find out.
Keiichi-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger. Oh, sorry about that. Was called into the staff room, you see. You were reprimanded for bad behavior. That's a shame. Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing in last place? Don't worry, Kage-kun. I'm at -1 points. Oh, the heck? Her score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing. This is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Reina alone or by both Kei-chan and Reina. Yeah, right. Just let Reina do the penalty by herself. We made a promise, Kage-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know? You know? I'm sorry about that. I followed my initial plan of showing Reina my cards, but I just didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for it to call. I got it! The murderer is me! With the poison at the entrance, is it? Is it? My Reina, quite a quick answer. Another stab in the dark? Oh. Reina's correct. Oh ho ho ho! Then it's decided that Keiichi-san shall take part in the penalty as well. Hooray! Keiichi-kun, let's both do our best. Ganbare. Playing through the whole of Class of 09 did pretty good stuff to your viewership. Okay, but like I played 3 games in the span of 4 streams. 5 if you include the anime pilot. So that'd be 4 things in 5 streams. Persona 5 would take me like 50 streams to finish. Yeah, let's do our best, haha. It's my fault, so I have no choice. Then that's the game. It's me, Mion Sonozaki, ranked first. In dead last are Keiichi Maibara and Reina Ryugu. Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now is the penalty. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the Gopher penalty. What will she make us buy, I wonder? Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it? Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper. Whoa, there's a lot written here. A lot? Damn it, what is she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar and fried tofu. The heck is this? It's just her shopping list. It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. Me was certain she was going to win today. Rule 7 of our society. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thanks. This is just your grocery list. I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. Oh no, I'm laughing along with the game when it's trying to be funny. No, no, no. Higurashi, when they cry. That means like when they do the scary bits that's gonna get me too. No. You have received new tips. There are more than 4 perpetrators. Search notice. At least we end on the at least we're ending on this music. This chapter. End of chapter 7. How many chapters are there again? 13? Okay, I'm not looking this up. You ending now? No, I'll do like 2 more chapters. I think. There's 13. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Like, I asked because I don't want to, like... I don't want to look it up at this point, because I feel like I would actually read something that spoils a part of the game for me. Okay, we're back at the classroom. Sleepy. Whoa, that was a really big yawn, Keiichi-kun. I didn't have to fake that one. That was, that was a real yawn. That was a real yawn. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but doesn't look like I can do that today. I was watching TV until late last night. I'm so tired right now. I was streaming a visual novel.
That made me yawn. How dare you?
You're welcome. Was one of those raunchy TV shows you loved so much on last night? Do I love raunchy TV shows? That feels like the type of thing I wouldn't... How extremely vile. Don't jump to conclusions. It's perfectly normal for boys, nothing to be ashamed about. Okay, no. One can be true. No, it can be perfectly normal and also be something to be ashamed about. Okay. Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse. Could you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously. Why, you think I would just sit here and allow that? I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry. Yawn. This was just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head into the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear. Okay, sleepy time, honk. Me. Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Keiichi-kun fell asleep. His sleeping face, so cute. You remembered Persona 5 had a hot teacher? That was like that's the only thing I know about the game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know there's two things. I know two things about Persona 5. The music is good, and I've heard the music. It is really good. I really do like the music. And there's like a hot teacher. That's all I know about the game. You can take him home later. Let him be for now. Let's move over there. It'd be rude to Keiichi if we bothered him now. Rika-chan really is a good girl. Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes back. I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night was because I was watching TV was a lie. Yeah, because I was like staying up all night thinking about this village conspiracy. There's a hot goth doctor. Sorry, this is not. Someone's saying there's a hot goth doctor too in Persona 5. This is Persona. Yes, I know that. Those are the two characters I know. It is the school nurse. Is she the school nurse or is she like a doctor? I don't know. I thought she was the school nurse because it's like a school, right? It's the school nurse and the teacher. Those are the two characters I know. All right. No, she's just a doctor. Oh yeah, so she's just a doctor then. Never mind. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to. I need to take my mind off of this right now because I'm like terrified. Okay. Because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Oishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. Did I read that twice? Sorry, I'm losing it. It ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I'd never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this. Huh? When was that? I heard he wasn't there the next day. It appears he vanished the night of the Watanagashi. Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta play creepy music, man? Mion whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Reina's voice was even harder to pick up, but I could still tell that she was quite upset. Couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san? In Itake? Not sure. That's all I know. I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it was much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep, to listen in on the conversation. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. So, and me, There are others, right? 2. But they don't know if it's from the curse or if this was an Onikakushi. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Onikakushi. What's that? I don't know. I don't speak Japan. I don't speak Japanese. Onikakushi. I don't know if I want to Google it, because I feel like if I Google it, it'll show me something like that's not scary, but something that puts an image in my mind that I don't want. Onikakushi. Onikakushi. To be hidden away by a demon.
Don't Google it.
Don't Google it. Okay, I'm not going to. I don't want to. I'm scared. What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good. There was another, right? Yeah, well, there was another, right? Right? If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah. But this year, at all? Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion. Dude, I can't. I'm like, oh. It does mean demon hiding, but if you Google it, only Higurashi shows up, so yeah, don't Google it. Okay. Okay. Don't Google it because Higurashi will show up. Okay. Okay, alright, okay. Oh, my friends are part of the conspiracy. My friends are part of a conspiracy.
Based on my gaijin impression, it be the Japanese underworld, because I know ONI equals ogres are in hell in Japanese folklore.
Right. That makes sense. Then without us knowing it, somebody had them, you mean? Maybe. Next could me, I wonder. Don't worry, you got home safely. But it's not allowed, right? That was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term onikakushi. To be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. That's like a movie. That's like a bit less scary than this one. I suspect that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman, it really bugged me that I don't know her name, vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Reina said, there's another one, right? Mion also said, if it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah, responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be 2 victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of onikakushi. It seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together? Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that to me! Stop! Stop! Okay. Alright. I recalled Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would be best described as cursed. And the woman with him, it means she vanished because she was demoned away. What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper, and the last point that bothered me was Reina. Reina was frightened. For what reason I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. Oni is the...
You should probably read that. Unless you want to refund Let Me Die their money back.
Hello, Let Me Die. Boo. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. All that you get when you look up the term is just Higurashi, so it's definitely something from this game. Okay. Oh. I can't. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't. I can't do this. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama would be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't the guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Oishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Reina. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Oishi-san, informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. It made me feel really terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. The teacher approaches. Keiichi-san, you must awaken. In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of the afternoon classes. Gah, I couldn't sleep at all. Chat, clip this. Don't clip that. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. Ow! There was a thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with a tape. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I furiously jumped up from my seat, and I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence and able to pull off this fine piece of work. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. Oh ho ho ho! Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Keiichi-san? Take your seat. Clump, clump, whish, whiff. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Keiichi-san is being mean. Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, my Barakun. Apologize to her. I saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me, that little brat. Come on, my Barakun? Yeah, I'll apologize. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologized, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this. Kei-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat, take your seat. I sat down after Mion told me to. She switched to class representative mode. You can't do this to me, man. You can't do this to me. With the boring classes finished, school was finally over for the day. Can we, like, have a bit where they go in the classes? I want to see what happens in, like, what are we learning? Are we learning a language? Are we learning maths? Are we doing economics? Are we doing, like, biology? What are we doing? I want to know. Can we just do that for the rest of the story? Just, like, 13 chapters of, like, textbooks? That'd be great. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Mushi-san. Reina and I weren't even able to test out our strategy. That's right, today Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious. Sorry, who was the one that was certain it was... Reina was grimly certain that she would be next. Yeah, that's her. That's our, like, that's like the she's like the primary, like, love interest of our protagonist character, I think, is the idea. What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Why not try asking me? Mion looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up. Oops, I completely forgot I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Aren't you a little goody two-shoes? Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man's heading back home now. I gotta go clean up the scene of a crime. Sorry, I'm just gonna like go and wipe up some blood trails. Don't worry about it, guys. She's gonna go play crime scene cleaner. Charis, I sincerely think that if there will be only classes and club activities from now on, you will be begging for a screamer by the end just to make you feel something. Probably, and I'm hard to please. Okay, I'm a difficult person to please. I'll admit it. I am.
Wow, Charis is playing the Lola Confitsa game again. Nice. XD.
That's not what this is, Lackey. That's not what this is. Not anymore, at least. Now it's like, now it's... Ugh. Okay. Mion left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag. You see, Mi-chan, she sometimes goes to help out at her uncle's shop in town. Oh, I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff. She said that she gets paid for it. It's quite a bit of spending money from what I hear. Okay, sorry. Unrelated to this conversation, or no, not related to the game, unrelated to the conversation that's happening right now. But like, here's my theory for how the game resolves, or how like the story, this chapter 1 resolves. It's like, we become part of the conspiracy. Like, and that's why we have to kill Elena for some reason. We assimilate into like the evil of the village. That's the idea. That's how we do that. Is like it's a murder mystery right now. The more we learn about it, the more like the mystery horror kind of like fades from this unknown weird alien thing to like something that's a bit more. So there's something that we slowly, maybe not us as the audience, but us as the character slowly assimilates into. Or maybe like we have to be an undercover cop by penetrating into the cult or the conspiracy, and then eventually we have to kill Urena for some reason. That's what we're doing. That's like that's the plot. So here's the thing. It's like, why are you spoiling the end of the game? They foreshadowed it very clearly. It's not even, I wouldn't even say it's a foreshadowing. I would say it's like, it's kind of like I'm sorry to use this example. I must apologize, but like this is the only thing that comes to my mind right now. It's like in the manga or the anime manga quintuplets, Gotoban no something Hanayomi, I don't know. The one with like the 5 girls in like the anime with the 5 girls who are interested in the main character, and it's like it's a usual harem thing where in the beginning of the story they explicitly say one of them marries the protagonist and the other 4 don't. Which one it is, you will find out at the end of the manga. And like it's just a matter of who, not like, oh, but what if he marries all of them? Like, we know that's not happening, right? In the same way, I'm convinced that Keiichi is going to kill Reina because of the opening scene. And I don't think that's a spoiler or anything. I think that's the almost the setup of the game is finding out how we get to that point. But I'm so certain that's what's transpiring. I am so certain from what I vaguely recall, and I'm not going to go back to it because it's going to scare me, but I'm not going to go back to it and read the dialogue and check. But I think what's going on is it's Keiichi killing Reina. So I'm just trying to see how the story leads to that, and that's my theory right now.
Want to make that wager?
No, I don't. Remember, if it's too much, you can turn them into homunculi. That's like worse now. Now it's scarier. Oh. What if the killer's Colonel Sanders? Me when I predict the ending to they both die at the end. No, I'm saying, like, I'm not saying they both die. I feel like there could be a very real possibility. In fact, that's where I'm leaning right now, where the MC doesn't die, but the MC kind of slowly transitions from like investigating the evil and the conspiracy to just fully assimilating and being a part of it and perpetuating that evil for some reason. I don't quite know why. Maybe he needs to kill Reina to keep his family safe or something, and to like kind of guarantee his position in the village as an insider rather than an outsider. I don't know. I'm gonna guess that's the case, and then you can say that's brilliant commentary for the social issues in Japan, and how they are extremely prejudiced against quote-unquote outsiders, and this horror game is actually like a cultural masterpiece, and blah, blah, blah. You know, you can do that, but that does not erase the first 6 hours I played in this game. Okay, that doesn't. If you're wrong, Spooktober extends to December. I'm not making that wager. It's not happening. No, there's an actual book called They Both Die at the End. Oh, cool. I wonder what happens at the end of the story for that book. Anyways. Alright. I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. But that, wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Isn't that against school policy? There's a clause that states family businesses are excluded. Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today? So we're done today, I guess. Wouldn't it be fine even without the club president? Let's do this.
At Maebi, I know about John dies at the end, but not that one.
I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games. Now here it is. The deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break. I do not mind. But is that fine for Reina-san and Rika? If Keiichi-kun wants to so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit. I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together. For now, there's 4 of us, so we should play Mario Party Superstar. Or Jamboree. When she says it like that, I wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today. Going to buy soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting. What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities? If I keep on trying to push the matter, it may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Oh well, I'll give up this time. Man, I really was looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up on it. At the next opportunity, I shall give you a sound thrashing. Oh ho ho ho. The murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is the pistol. It was you after all. What did you say? Then I'll just... Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me. The murder is Keiichi, in the lounge with a rope. I don't need no rope, I'll just strangle you like this. No, Keiichi's not such a beast. Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system. Well, I'll remember this, Keiichi-san. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. How unfortunate. Haha, cute, cute. Okay, I think I'm going to do 2 chapters today. I'm a bit tired. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Reina, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion. Satoshi. What? Who's that? Satoshi? Not all the cards are made by us. Or at least every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Or is there someone in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall. Keiichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up. Why is it weird? Why do they make it like weird? Being rushed by Reina, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Reina had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Reina, there must be quite a few people who transferred from the school, right? I tried asking Reina in a bit of a roundabout way. Reina made a troubled face and then answered. Yeah, Hinamizawa is a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then. Then is Satoshi another one of those transferees? Sorry, I don't really know. There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate. I'm not saying it to be mean, just last year I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him. So I didn't hear much about him. Sorry. He wasn't supposed to know that. He knows too much. I'm not sure. Sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance. Keiichi-kun, you're making a scary face. Why is it? Why? It was probably exactly the kind of face that Ina said it was. It appeared
What
my grim
happened to the
expression
happy
frightened
music?
her.
Bring it back.
That's what I'm saying, Gentle. That's what I'm saying. Oh, sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. I'm just feeling down about it. I rustled Reina's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long, outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry. Keiichi-kun, are you tired, maybe? Maybe? Reina timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made this situation even more unsettling. You think so? Yeah. You seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold? Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Reina continued on since I didn't give her an answer. Could be that the fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live, after all. Of course you've gotten tired since there's so much you need to get used to and remember. Maybe that's it. Yeah, it has to be. Reina was also like that at first, too. I can tell, you know? I wondered if Reina also experienced a slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamizawa. How was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened. It was the same as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Michan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did feel a little out of place. Reina told me all the details of when she had moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So, Satoko got you too? Yeah, there was a thumbtack put on my chair. Poke. Then with that, yeah. That really takes me back. Or were you invited into the club? The first day? Nah, there wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day she said we should stay after, and hold a big game tournament. Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it. This is a secret, but Michan used to be really bad at the beginning. She'd never win. Huh? Mion, really? I can't even imagine that. She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Seriously, don't tell. I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty. I began making more friends besides Michan after that, but yeah, might have only been since you moved here, that I'd finally felt like I had gotten used to it here. I guess Reina had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder when I'll finally be considered one of them. Huh? Did you say something? No, sorry, those were my thoughts. I was speaking them out loud. Hahaha, Keiichi-kun. You're so silly. Reina was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then after making up my mind, I spoke. Hey, Reina, is there something that everybody's keeping from me? Oh, I don't like this. This is like we are killing her right now. I think that this is the point. Like we're gonna get to the end of the story of this, and then we're gonna look back, and this is the moment. This is the moment the MC had doomed Reina to her fate, or something. I think. I don't know. Huh? No, not at all. You're lying, aren't you? Reina suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense. What do you mean by that, Keiichi-kun? Her tone was still the same cheery and light-hearted one as before. You are, aren't you? Keeping something from me? After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect. Well then, Keiichi... Why does she look like that? 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 Can we not have that? Can we not have this? Can we not be doing this right now? Can we... Why is she looking at me like that? Why is she looking at me like that? Why is she looking at me like that? Why is she... That's horrifying. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't... Look at this. That's really good. That's really good. In the sense that, like, I am sufficiently terrified. I'm sufficiently terrified. That is scary. That's like, uh-oh. Aren't you keeping something from us? Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Reina. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Reina. Aren't you? Lies or secrets, aren't you? You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitake-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone.
This is literally someone going slightly smiling face.
Yeah, and I don't like slightly smiling face. I don't like it. Every time one of you puts my slightly smiling face in my chat, I get the urge to kick you out because I don't want to see that. This is scaring me. This is... I hate you.
Smiley face.
Okay. Fuck you.
What's wrong? Smiley face.
Stop. Shut up, parrots. Shut up. Stop. But I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomitake-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Yoshiro-sama. Then aren't we even? No, I'm not. No lies, nor secrets. Liar. Her answer was instant and it shook me. Nina stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying? Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun? I know, you didn't go to the teacher's room. I swallowed hard. Clearly wasn't a bluff, she knew what happened. The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of a car, near the school gate, with some man we don't know. Nina knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Oishi-san and that I heard about the incident with Tomitake-san as well. Did she know all of it? Exactly who was that man? I don't know him. Why did somebody you don't know have business with you? Oh, I don't know. I'm so scared. I don't want this. Did you leave your door open? I would never leave my door open. It's funny you mention that because I'm re-listening to the Silk Sonic album. Again, I re-listened to it the other day, or at least I re-listened to Leave the Door Open. I'm like, damn. Maybe that song is better than... No, I like this. I like this song more and more as I listen to it. Leave the Door Open by Bruno Mars and Silk Sonic, or Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, excuse me. But I think Smoking Out the Window is still my favorite track from the album. I'm like trying not to look at her. Like, this is shit. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Okay, alright. I want to know that myself. Then what did you talk about? It has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. What the?
Just 2 more chapters.
What the hell?
Smiley face.
What is she? Why is she looking like that? Why is she looking at? We gotta kill her. We gotta kill her. We have to kill her. Somebody get the axe. Somebody get the axe. Somebody get the axe. Somebody get the axe. Somebody get the axe right now. We're taking the axe and we're throwing it straight through her skull, like splitting her in half. We're just doing that right now. We're doing that right now. We're killing her right now. Okay, we gotta kill her right now. We have to kill her right now. We have to kill her right now. Okay. I'm not even kidding. We have to do that right now. I can't. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Can we play with it? Can we play with the other character sprites? They're goofy. They're goofy enough that it's not too bad for me because the updated sprites are actually scary. Cause the goofy, cause these look kind of this looks kind of goofy. This is like oh she's angry. This is like the anime girl is angry. And then this is not just that she's angry, there's a creepiness to her face. This, because of how gentle her demeanor has been through the entire 7 hours so far, this is really, really scary. I genuinely, I'm looking at this right now and I'm scared. I'm actually just scared looking at this image. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't. Dana's scream echoed through the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I'd just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized the person in front of me, she wasn't Reina Ryugu. Then who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Reina Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating. Right? And then she made a facial expression that Reina normally might have made. Fuck you. We have to kill her. We gotta kill her. We gotta get the axe. We gotta do it. Come on. Oh, I can't. I can't do this. I can't do this. I could do this. This is literally just text. It's not even real. It didn't matter that it was Reina's usual smile. It showed me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Reina's face was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me. We also have secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets. It was Reina's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Reina, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long empty silence, she finally spoke. Let's go. It's getting chilly. It was Reina again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Reina was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and asked myself once again, who was that person? Who looked like Reina Ryugu? Higurashi when they cry. I can't. I can't. I'm guys, I just can't. What the hell is that? Okay, are we back home? Is it home? This isn't home. What is that background? I was out of it and I couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Reina going off on me? No, that's not right. No, I was actually. That is right. That was someone else who only looks like Reina. Oh yeah, sure. Then who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that it was someone else, not Reina. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Reina like I usually do. The thought was strangely comforting. Yeah, but it's like you're coping. This is her. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head, though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps. Keiichi, it's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Oishi of the Okinomiya bookshop. Oishi-san? Oh, it's Oishi-san. Sorry, since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on that piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Oh, yeah, okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. So how has it been, Maibara-kun? San, did anything strange happen recently? I see, this was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Oishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya. If he's from around here, he might know. Oishi-san, do you know what this Onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away, like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Hinamizawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, Maibara-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not going to tell you anything. No, that's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. They go down to villages snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. I'm going to lower the volume now to lower than it already is right now for myself, but you'll still hear it because you need to hear the creepy music. I don't want to hear the creepy music that much. I'm still hearing it. Okay, I'm still hearing it. It's just lower. Okay. Demon snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means. They said that the curse and being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. Stop tomatoing me, whatever. The curse and being demoned away happened together? First time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, Maibara-san? That's what I want to know. I heard Reina and Mion talking. They said that if it was really Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and demoning away would happen. Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind. Maibara-san, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah, one of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically. Oh, they're not on the run. They disappeared. What if he isn't on the run, but it was demoned away? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. So there's like 5 people that killed him. Again, he died, and one person who also got spirited away or whatever. I don't like this. Guys, how am I supposed to sleep? How am I supposed to sleep tonight? I need to sleep. I have shit to do tomorrow. I have shit to do. I can't do that. Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. Police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be, unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then what about the incident the next year, when the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away? We cannot say someone is dead without their body. Until a certain number of years pass, by law she's treated as still alive. Okay. Do they hide the bodies in Ureina's house? They hide the bodies at Reina's house. That's why she has all those knickknacks, right? Those like those things she fishes up. I don't want to like. I just can't. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm so. Maybe if it scares you that bad, pick it up next time. I'll pick it up. Yeah, I'll probably like stop at the end of this chapter. It's probably closing in. We're probably closing in at the end of the chapter, because it's been like 2 hours already. Go to sleep soundly knowing Reina can't hurt you. Can read you a wholesome bedtime story with no horror if you want. I mean, that'd be vastly preferable to me suffering through this right now, but I really should finish this chapter. Okay. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. So the woman was demoned away. The dude, I forgot his name. Take Hite-san, I forgot what his name is. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. How about the 3rd year? The Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide? Well, the wife went missing, I guess, right? Mahabara-san, that's actually the exact same scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around Hinamizawa. Meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. Investigative headquarters still believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. Not sure if we would call these cases as being demoned away. I kill Reina and I disappear. That's the end of the story. The end of the story is like the main character has to kill Reina as the next year or something, and then he gets spirited away, right? Not sure if we can call these cases being demoned away. It's just as you've said, every year one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tomitake-san has gone missing. Fuck. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? That's also who went missing. I would believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. What? What? Man, what? It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime, but you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It's considered a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. He swallowed a spork and choked to death. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide. Dude, what the hell am I reading, man? I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not doing this. I can't. Meaning for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing? That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realized they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help to lead to the closing of these incidents. I was just something they had in common. Could it be that those demoned away have something in common? Oishi-san mumbled that they seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was the dam employee, second year wife of a dam project supporter, third year was the wife of the Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's family's child, and the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It was love. It was love. That's the thing that connects them. The dam employee loved the dam project manager. Maybe they were having like a workplace fling or something. And everything else is like, you know, wife, family, child, girlfriend. Yeah, that's like, With the exception of first year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. Then that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing in the fourth year, who were they? Apparently he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. Why do you say that? I'm actually so uncomfortable right now. I'm actually so uncomfortable right now. I'm actually so uncomfortable right now. You have no idea. I'm freaking out. Oh, his name was Satoshi Hojo-san. Okay. Oh no. Oh. Oh no. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. Fuck these people. I don't want to be here. I don't care. I don't want to be I don't care for my friends. I'd never cared for my friends. I'm leaving. I'm packing my bags right now and I'm flying away anywhere else. Please. I can't do this, man. I can't do this. I'm so scared. I can't. I can't. Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. And where I sat once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat. I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. The string of mysterious deaths, no. Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation, it was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Not in a good way. Not like in the good way I'd like that one enjoys being caressed in the back of their neck. What happened to the power of friendship? There was never any power of friendship. Okay, I hated these people all the way from the beginning, so I did not grow attached. It's us or them, and it's not, and it's us. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it, and I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. I mean, the thing with this is I don't think I'd enjoy the story as much if it was actually confirmed to be supernatural. The way I want this to resolve, and I think I'm leaning towards this, the least for chapter 1, right? I'm leaning towards this as the resolution, right? Or at least as part of the resolution, they're not gonna clarify if it's really a conspiracy or if it's the work of a curse, or if it is a conspiracy, could that conspiracy be a result of the curse, right? I think leaving the supernatural bit unexplained is what adds to the spookiness of it, which is what makes it scary. Because if you explain everything perfectly, it's not as, it doesn't, the suspense is what like kind of gnaws at you, right? So I feel like the way this is going, we'll never know if the curse is real in any sense of the word, I guess, or if it's fake. It will be like ambiguous. Oh god. Think about the creepcast bit where they're like, yeah, and so if this happened to me, I would be on a plane out of there and started cutting back and forth between horror and Kokomo by the Beach Boys. I'm actually like, I'm a little sick. Okay, hold on. I'm not sick. I'm just like a little unwell. I'm a little unwell. Hold on. Okay. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging eventually, I'd reach the point where I'd learn something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Once you finish, I'll reach something nice. You don't have to. You don't have to. I just need to like. I'm just like. I would end when I answer. I'm just gonna do like a moment. I just need like a moment. Oh. Okay. Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. Unless I killed first, and then I will kill my girlfriend. Then that was when I remembered. Reina. Reina said she might be the next victim of the curse. Yes, because she's the one who's gonna die from it. I'm gonna get spirited away. Did anyone else hear that? Fuck you, Tara. Fuck you, man. I can't. You mean Reina Ryuga-san? She transferred in last year and she's her classmate, isn't she? Wait, did I say that out loud? Elena said she may be the next victim of the curse. These incidents really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced, almost as if, you could say, she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor, that someone who looked like Reina but wasn't Reina, that might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Reina today came back to me. I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryuga-san, Maibara-san. Are you asking me to keep Reina under surveillance? That's not what I mean, Maibara-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock knock. Oh my god. You can't... Like, you can't... Remember, you can watch librarians upload of NL's Persona 3. I gotta jump straight to that. In fact, I gotta do that right now. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now. I have to do that right now.
Has NL ever played Persona 5? I ain't ever played Persona 5, and I never freaking will. I ain't ever seen Persona 5, and I never freaking will. So I want it. Don't worry, NL. The game really eases you into it with a 73-hour-long first dungeon about a perverted gym teacher who lives in a palace where all the statues are gaping anuses and breasts.
Okay. That's not... I needed that. I'm sorry. I'm like, I can't. I need that. I needed to watch like a... I need... +2. For real. I'm freaking out, man. I can't. I wonder if the modded version is even more immersive audio. That's why I'm not using that. I got like 2-3 comments on the episode 1 VOD from probably really well-meaning people that are like, someone said, download 07th mod patch onto this to get the ideal console version with swappable sprites and features, heavily elevates reading experiences. Swappable sprites and features. I think I already have this. I think this is already the version, because when I launched the game, it says like 07 mod or something, or like, and you can swap between the sprites. So like, I think that's what it is. But like, you know, I can't. I'm not doing the enhanced version of this, dude. Fuck. Okay. Knock knock. A sudden knock at the door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Keiichi, get the door, please. On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress in this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Keiichi, hurry and open up. Daddy's got his hands full. What is Dad doing? He's gonna like paint something, and that thing is gonna like be innocuous to him, and then but actually be super terrifying to us, and then we're gonna be like, oh my god, our dad's gonna die from the curse if we don't perpetuate this evil conspiracy, and then we're gonna have to perpetuate this evil conspiracy by like chopping Reina up with an axe or something. I'd stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea. A fairly fancy spread for a household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side, everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality. What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come on now, don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. What had gotten into him? So, what were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father, but how could I explain to him that I was talking to a detective, I'm assuming he was, this late at night? Nothing much. Just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Reina-chan. Why do you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? Why would you do this? Why would you? I can't. Give me a break. Give me a break, please. Bring me back to the social club. I just want to go back to playing card games and, like, you know, the somewhat but probably slightly less unsettling lewd jokes about and between high schoolers, you know, like we just she wasn't here. Come on, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but it looks like I just missed her. What are you saying, Dad? What the hell? I had no idea what Dad was talking about, but a cold sweat dripped down my back. How long were we talking? Reina-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess. You saw her come up to the second floor? Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall up the stairs. Nana came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the second floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the second floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs, and about an hour passed. She passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs and about an hour passed. Then passed by my dad and returned home. She heard the entire conversation I had with the detective, and like that has now made me realize that I don't want to play this game anymore, and I'm scared. Where was Rena? Until she left. Where was Rena? There's only a short hallway between my room and the... She's gonna kill me first with the axe. She heard me through like the stream. She heard me through the stream. She was like, oh shit, like Charis Euphranor wants to split me open with an axe. I'll show him. And then she now has got the upper hand. She got first strike. She hit first blood. She's getting the first blood gold through the towers. Me and I had for about an hour in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. I could easily hear everything being said inside. All of the ominous things and all the nonsense I spoke to Oishi-san about began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor around the doorway where Reina might have stood all the time. Just now, as I was talking to Oishi-san with my back turned, Reina was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time. All that time in this dimly lit doorway. What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. I don't want this. I don't want this anymore. I don't want any of this anymore. I don't want this anymore. Higurashi when they cry. I don't want this anymore. I'm scared. You have received new tips. Notice from the police chief. Lied to Reina. That's my achievement unlocked. I lied to her. I can't do this. I can't do this. 13 chapters. So there's at the end of chapter 8. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 5 chapters left. There's 5 chapters left. Can I do 2 and 3? Oh my god. Are you done playing? You scared? Okay, I've got 5 chapters left. Should I do 9, 10 in one session and then 11, 12, 13 on another session? Or should I do 9, 10, 11 one session and then 12, 13 another? Like, so should I do 3 next and then 2 last? Or 2 next and then 3 last? Zero, you've played this game, you tell me. Please and thank you. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. Initial hints. Rena, what a funny name. Later hints. She heard your talk with the police homicide department. What are my tips right now? We're a mixed grade? We don't have a uniform. What kind of name is Rena? Notice of the police chief. Search notice. There are 4 perpetrators. Housewife murder. I can't. I'm fucking... See how long it takes for the 2. If it's not too long, then add 3rd. Maybe. Oh. Okay. Here's what I will say. Okay, I'm gonna stop being scared. I'm gonna just... Actually, I'm not even scared at all. That was all a lie. Thank you for coming to the stream today where I pretended to be scared for 2.5 hours. I actually was never scared I was never scared at all. Anyways, now that I'm not scared, let me objectively talk about the game as a horror experience so far. Yeah, it's really good. Like, and I don't mean good in the sense that like I like it because I hate this, but like I recognize it's good because it's not just like cheap jump scares and like flashing lights and like just like loud noises. Ooh, like it's building up the tension and the suspense in a way that I would recognize as masterful. Like it's really tactical the way it's not like it's strategic almost in a way in the sense that in like a predictable fashion, maybe almost. It's tropey and a bit campy, but it's playing every note perfectly is what it's doing. Like I recognize, like I'm not someone who enjoys horror a lot, but from my very limited experience with horror games and things, this is done very well. Like this is a very high quality piece of horror, and it's not just wow bloody and gore and like loud noise. Like there's a whole folklore and like the blending of like the ambiguity of what's real and what isn't, and like the high school social club is not for me, but like I imagine that if it were for you, you would be so sucked into that world that having to then later confront the fact that those like quote unquote friends are not to be trusted is going to be such a huge like betrayal and like gut punch that magnifies the horror and is magnified by it, and like kind of thereby turning your emotions almost against in a complete 180. And that is incredible. Like that's incredible work. This is really good. I can't stomach this. I'm sorry. I could stomach this. I could do it. It's just reading. We're literally just reading. The mentality of the author is to just make a text novel and then improve it with a bit of visuals and audio, I think, which means a lot of emphasis on the writing. Okay. I mean, it's... Now I can confidently say it's good. So you like it. No, I hate this. No, I hate this. This sucks. I never want to do this. I'm never doing this again, like, after October. Like, I'm not doing this for another year once this is over, okay? Like, we're not doing this. I hate this, but it's good. I hate this, but I recognize that it's really good, okay? Like, there are things that scare me, like horror things that scare me that I recognize are bad, and they scare me because it's just loud noise. It's just, you know, being flashbanged by like having my senses assaulted, and that's no good. Like a scare makes sense, like a woo, like a boo, but it can't just be, you can't just compensate for the scariness by having it be really loud, like the scare itself. There needs to be proper and sufficient build up, and right now this build up is really good. And the sort of the mini scares they put in between to build up to the bigger scares that are going to happen later are so far laid out really well. Like, I am shitting myself. Oh. You're doing well so far. I know it must be hard as a horror disliker. It is, and thank you. I envy you. I wish I could get scared like you again. Okay, but like, I wish I were like you and I didn't have to be scared. I wish I wasn't scared, but I am. I wish I am scared. I wish I would stop being scared. I can't. I don't know anymore. I don't know what I'm saying. Will you do it again sooner for a Scooby snack? No. There are a few things I would do this sooner for. I don't think there is anything I would do this sooner for, actually. Like, I just wouldn't. Oh, okay. No. Yeah, and you're saying, like, okay, like, as what you're saying is, like, as you expose yourself to it more, like, you'll grow more tolerant of it because you'll see the tropes coming more, and you'll kind of, like, the scares and the twists, the, oh, it's haunted, oh, it's a curse, oh, it's murder, like, it can only be so gory. Like, there's not, it doesn't really get gorier than gore. Like, there's no the extent to gore is very little because it's just gore. Like, oh wow, their body parts are chopped up and dismembered and reassembled differently. Like, that is the extent of it. It's more like building the story to lead into that scare. And once you've kind of experienced the limit of it, it's harder to be scared in the same way and get that same spine tingly feeling, is what you're saying. Maybe that's true. In which case, I don't know what to tell you. I don't really know what the solution is to that, because that's not really a thing that happens in the genres that I consume and enjoy. Perhaps there's always room for innovation. Shonen anime can be tropey, but, you know, over time, better and better ones, or ones that play on those tropes and, like, expand on what makes the genre appealing in the first place, tend to succeed and do very well and still prove to be entertaining modern classics. So it's like I have no experience in speaking upon a genre that one grows tired of the more they're exposed to it. I don't really know. We appreciate your sacrificing your sanity and quality of sleep for our entertainment. You're saying, like, now we went from, like, being mean to me to, like, now you're all really nice to me, because I'm actually so scared that I might drop this game because I'm, like, because I can't handle it, and you really want to see me, and you really want to see me get scared by it, which is fair. Okay.
No.
I'm so close. I'm on the teetering edge. Look, I'm not, like, it's not because it's bad.
Why would we bully someone vulnerable?
Can you please play Omori if you have the chance? I don't think I'll do that
Can
this
you
month,
PLS
Omori
play
is something I've
Omori
been
if you
thinking
have
about
the
for a while.
chance?
For Chairman, bad horror is her. And good horror is I'm a high schooler in a swimsuit. Is FNAF good horror? I think FNAF 1 is pretty good. Like, FNAF 1, I think, from my limited understanding of horror, FNAF 1 is good. Is, objectively speaking, for its time, really good. Like, memes aside, the banter aside, Five Nights at Freddy's is objectively, like, a good game. It's not, like, the greatest, scariest game ever made, like a lot of the YouTube clickbait thumbnails were saying, I think. But it was certainly a really good product of it in its time, and still right now I think it's fairly good. But it's been bloated and mean to death, so I don't know. FNAF 1's not good for me in terms of horror. Lore's kind of cool, but it's only scary because of the jump scares. Okay. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Personally, the jump scares are the jump scares for me in FNAF are properly built up by the checking the cameras all the time and seeing them moving around slowly, but not quite directly. And then there being one animatronic, you know, Foxy, that doesn't do that and actually just runs straight ahead at you, is equally terrifying. Or like it complements the other things, and like that, it's all. I think it's scary. Like, even without the jump scare, the big jump scare of, like, you getting a game over and it, like, tearing at your screen and going, you know, like, even without that, just it showing up at the window is already scary enough for me. But I don't know. I want something that will make me feel like the first time I read Uzumaki again. I could not sleep that night and got nauseous when I saw spirals for a week. It was awesome. What is wrong with you? Respectfully. Or rather, with no respect. No, we're not doing the with all due respect. No, with no respect. What's wrong with you? Why would you want that? No, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'm gonna try to go to sleep now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't take this anymore. I'm gonna go away. Have we saved it? I'm pretty sure we saved it, right? Yep, we did. Yep. Okay. 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 Yep. Yeah, I need to, like, I need to close this. I need to get this out of my... Okay. Where's my... Yep, that's my BGM. Okay. Okay, I can't, like, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. It's so effective as a horror spectacle, but it's awesome because I love Junji Ito and now my tolerance is high enough. I can appreciate the craft. I mean, like, I can appreciate the craft behind this too. Now I'm starting to appreciate it too. Like, I can see the steps. I can see the moves that are being played. It's really good. I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. When's the next chapter? It's not this week. It's probably sometime next week. How's this? We read... No, we'll just... Okay, we'll finish it next weekend, I think, probably. Or next... I think what we'll do is... What I'll do is I'll read it next Wednesday and Sunday. So not the following Sunday. The following Sunday we're playing Little Nightmares 3 with Axion. Oh, but the one after that we might have to... we'll see. Okay, we'll see. I'm sure you can handle watching the Uzumaki anime. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's about. I'm not. Are you gonna play Little Nightmares 2 after 3? Yeah, I'll probably do 2, like, retro. Is it the word retroactively? No. I'm doing 2 later. I'm doing 3 first with Axion. Uzumaki anime is dog shit. Okay. Apparently Junji Ito anime adaptations are all horrible. I've heard that as well. I don't know if it's true, but I've also heard that. Okay, like, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna, like, I can't... Sorry, like, I'm not doing that as in, like, I was just in my head for a second thinking about the... I'm still thinking about the cicadas. And then in my head, I just said I'm not doing that. Like, I was still doing it. Like, oh. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Goodbye. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to sleep. And if I can't sleep, I'm gonna blame all of you. It's all your fault. It's Zero's fault, especially for recommending me this game. I'm gonna try to go to sleep. Goodbye. Goodbye. Stop fucking using the smiley face emoji. Fuck you guys. Stop.